So, I either had or I still have the book, The Body Keeps Score, but I haven't read it yet. I keep meaning to, because I've heard a lot of things about it that would be helpful. I just haven't. But that being said, I'm sorry that you're weepy. But at the same time, I'm not, only because like tears are the price we pay for love, and those are worth it. You will always miss your daughter, always. And so having tears about missing her is nothing to be sorry for. And so while I wish that you had your child to raise, and I wish that I was seeing pictures of her and getting to see her doing life with all of your other children, I don't get that luxury. And so instead, I will honor and acknowledge your tears and support you as you feel weepy and heavy and miss her. And isn't it so interesting how, like, the days leading up to their dates, when we've been busy or it's slipped our mind, like we feel off, but you can't put a finger on it. Or for me, there's times where I feel guilty for not feeling sad enough, like I didn't spend enough time in mourning, or as if I was going to forget that the date was coming. I've never once forgotten the days, but like, I'm like, oh yeah, that day's coming, that's why I'm having a hard time. I can't believe I almost forgot. Like, I don't think it's, I mean, maybe as it's been 30 or 40 years, we might forget. But right now, while we're raising our small children and our grief is still newish, the likelihood of us forgetting is pretty slim. But then, you know, oh, it's only 2 days that I'm grieving in advance instead of a week that I'm grieving or mourning. Like, it feels weird because, you know, it's like, what if the day came and went and I forgot, you know, and that would feel bad. But I don't know if I'm making sense of what I'm trying to say. But I am sorry that your heart is heavy because you have to do life without your child. It's so unfair, and I wish more than anything that we didn't know what that feels like. But we do, and in spite of it all, the legacy that we have for our children is powerful, and it's big, and it's fulfilling, which is odd to think that grief could be fulfilling, or that sorrow could be fulfilling, or that the loss of a child could be fulfilling. But in spite of the loss, it is fulfilling because you understand other women in a way that you couldn't had you not experienced that. Certainly we would much rather just not be understanding and raise our children. But thankfully, you know, it hasn't made us so bitter that we're unable to care what other people are going through. Sorry, my lips always get so dry when I'm on Marco Polo. I think my lips are just dry in general. I just haven't been talking much. I am remembering, Hannah, with you when you said you'd felt weepy and then acknowledged the day. Wait, what's today? I knew what you were getting at. Like, oh yeah, her date's the 15th. And I feel like there's heaviness that comes with it being Easter time too. And that the anniversary of the loss of your child, or when she was due, I guess, right? It wasn't the 15th her due date? I think that was right. Or was that her birthday? It's on Good Friday, which was also a really heartbreaking day. So it's kind of twofold. Like, what's good about this, you know? And it's ironic that we remember the death of Jesus on a day that we call good. I'm gonna get emotional about it. But what if we thought about the day as a Good Friday for Hannah, knowing that there was a price that was paid for with her life, but it's been given a unique purpose and new life in a way that never would have happened otherwise, just the same as like the death, the burial, and resurrection of Jesus. The death of your child has birthed a passion for women and a passion for infertility, and a passion for heartache from loss, and a passion for serving women and digging into those parts of their heart where they didn't feel like they could share with anyone, and those things that are held in darkness like a tomb, just like Jesus was. Hannah's life, although it feels just as dark as a Good Friday did, is opening up a tomb for other people to find hope that they never would have found any other way. So, I'm sorry if that makes you cry. It makes me cry too. Like, what a beautiful day to share something so difficult, and I don't know how many more times in our lifetime Good Friday will fall on April 15th, or how many times it has already, but any time that her birthday is on that day, we'll think of the reasons worth praising something so sad, just like we did with Jesus' death on the cross. And like there was another mother that grieved on that day. I see that you're texting me, but there was another mother that grieved on that day when her child died, and when blood poured out, and when life felt hopeless and helpless. And I mean, we don't know what it was like for Mary. I mean, Jesus commanded his disciples to take care of his mother. We don't know how it felt for her. I've so many times have wondered what it was like for her. Like when Jesus was born, it talked about how Mary pondered these things in her heart. We often think of them as they must be good things, because how could they not be? But maybe they weren't. Maybe it was intense heaviness and sadness, knowing that the responsibility she was given was one that she didn't want. And the same goes for us, being the mothers of children who died in the womb. That's a responsibility that we didn't want. I don't want to be the mother of a child who didn't live. I don't want to be a peer that's pouring into other women because I'm sad. I would love anything but that. But I imagine Mary felt that way too. And so as you grieve Hannah, and as you walk into the season of Easter with your loving children, and maybe with a heaviness that, holidays bring a heaviness when you're doing life without one of your children, just know that above all, the Lord understands what this feels like for you, and the Lord understands the heaviness. And even when we have the years where we just want to shake it off and not think about it and not dwell on it and not unpack that, because it feels like I don't have time to unpack that. That's heavy, and I have to keep going, and there's people that need me, and I have to put on a happy face because it's a holiday, and my little kids need me to be excited, and it feels like too much to unpack it. Just know that I understand, and that I love you, and that I care, and that my heart is heavy with yours. And it's okay to cry even if you don't want to, and it's okay to eat your feelings even if you don't want to, and it's okay to want to be alone even if you don't want to, and it's okay to want to be with your family. It's okay to think about it. It's okay to not think about it. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to not talk about it. However you need to deal with it, I would say in a healthy way. But sometimes grief isn't healthy. Like it just has to be lived. It has to be felt. And sometimes we're not in a place where we can do it in a healthy way. Like maybe you need to crack open a beer. I mean, I know that you would rather not, because it's been a difficulty at times, but you know what? If you need to crack open a beer just to kind of take the edge off, then that's okay, and while I don't want you to live a self-destructive lifestyle, if that's the place that you're in that day, I've got your back, my friend. So, all right. Well, I'm going to get off of here. I wasn't even thinking that when I opened my message to message you. I just kind of like put those things together, but I wasn't thinking that when I thought I was going to message you back. I was just going to message you about the book and acknowledge Hannah's date, and I guess God kind of gave me that word for you, I guess, and for myself, because it makes the sacrifice of Jesus so much greater when we think about our own children. Like, I would have never, ever done that. Nothing in this world would have been worth it to me, you know? But then the opposite is true, to think that God felt us so worthy that He was willing to do something so hard. And like, we get the sacrifice because we've been that mom, but we also get the pain because we are that mom. So anyway, I was not planning on getting emotional, but sometimes it feels nice to not cry alone, right? Okay, well, now I'm at a stoplight, so I'm gonna get off of here, but I love you so much, and I'm thinking of your baby.